EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present opening round coverage of the PGA Championship. They have gathered from around the world here at Carolina for the final major championship of the year. We will crown our next PGA Championship winner. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Happy to be here calling all the action. Frank, what is the mindset for this final major of the season?
Oh, I think it's taken a long time to get here, but it's when you think of the luster of the Wanamaker Trophy, winners like Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth of recent, but Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, the list goes on and on. The fourth major, some say the defining major of the year, but played at a golf course that we're well used to now. So I'm looking forward to it, Rich.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That is how it's done, right there. What an approach shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frank, the good players continue to play good golf, even if they're not winning or in the top 5.
Yeah, that position's starting to look a little brighter than what it was at the beginning of the day. Now in the top 25.
It's 180 yards now to the flagstick. Frank, Rory McIlroy had his coming out party on the PGA Tour right here at Quail Hollow. That was in 2010. You remember that final round 62?
We certainly do, Rich. That great finish to post 62. Personally, I thought that was the best round shot in 2010. And not just because it was his first win, but it showed you what he was capable of. And then obviously we've got to see that ever since. That might go unnoticed, Rich, but that birdie just sneak inside the top 15.
This is a strong par 4, 452 yards, the third hole. It's a good challenge, Frank.
It is. Big sweeping dogleg left. Actually in a straight line, it's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise, you'll be hitting in the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot into there on a green that actually has 3 different levels.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Now, in great position. Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. And we pick up action at the 4th. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, we have already seen some excellent play. Frank, what are some of the keys to keeping this early momentum?
Basically just trying to do the same things. We're seeing good driving, good approach play, and very good speed on the green right now. Keep doing the same thing.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Solid play, heart of the green. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Keeps the momentum going with that putt. Stays at 3 under. Here we are at the par 5 fifth. It's 570 yards. Frank, this should be reachable for most players, don't you think?
Yeah, if you hit a good tee shot, especially with the draw, it will be. But the hardest part of this is judging that kick on the fairway that kicks the ball to the right. And it sort of turns at that awkward area at where the top of your tee shot range. That's where that dog leg is.
3-2-0, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. The fat part of the green. And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie. Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Wow, Frank, this is all you want, a par 3. 250 yards here at the 6th.
Hey, that's what these guys need, especially in a PGA championship. Fortunately, the hole plays a little bit downhill, but 250, whichever way you cut it, is a big par 3.
This one's looking good. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. 17-foot putt here.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. Now at -2 for the day. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6 and a 7 and an 8 or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Frank, here we are at another par 5, second shot to the 7th. Is it time to go pedal to the metal?
Yeah, this is the shortest of the 4 par 5s, and the second shot has to be respected. Left obviously isn't ideal, but it's still better than letting the ball go to the right.
Good looking shot right here. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. It's a good looking putt right here. You might like it. Surprise, surprise.
I'll tell you, just when you thought things were going to go the other way.
Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4/8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
And getting ready for the putt. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Ricky Fowlers have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
I don't know that approach will make the highlight reel, but he still has a chance if he makes this putt.
Yeah, 21's when you come of age, don't they say? 21 feet away.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. No damage done. Made the par. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut. Not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. That approach shot is well to the left, but still, he's on a putting surface. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Just ideal. Good speed on that putt and just a tap in remaining. Nudge this one home, finish it up. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron.
He's gone for a little extra.
Looks to be putting everything into this one. Just destroyed it.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Frank, right where you want to be.
Oh, wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That will be a great look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Yet another birdie, and on the march, 7 under for the tournament. Par 4 12th here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently, it's very easy to sneak into the rough on the left or the right, and then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know you line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
No way! He hold it, Frank.
Great pitch shot.
Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill. Fairway tilts a little bit to the right. And it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Frank, he's knocking them down and picking them up.
Oh, it's just taking pins out, one after the other.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Putting up some impressive numbers out here now, 9 under for the tournament. Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong 3-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards as the ball kicks down and towards the left, and It sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard 3-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Settles in over the putt. Now minus 10 for the round. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards, Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour. Frank, who knows, with a green mile looming ahead starting at 16, this might be the last great chance for a player to really make something happen.
And Rich, you're going to have to get a very high second shot, something that gets up very quickly. And the reason why, I don't think there's a flat portion on this green. Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
That shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close, that's good. These putts keep the round together. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good swing, good shot yet again. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Getting set now over the putt. Hit it. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has that plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
10-foot putt left. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area. Just over 290 yards to get past that, and then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
Frank, uphill shot. What did you like to do on a play like this?
The biggest thing really is to try and work on your balance. You've got to make sure you get through the shot and normally take an extra club.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Just an unbelievable round thus far, and 12 under on the day.
Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round 1.
Good place to be. EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present second round coverage of the PGA Championship. The season's final major championship is about to get underway here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Frank, as we look at the field for this PGA Championship, this golf course favors what kind of player?
Good drivers of the golf ball, Rich. The first time they had the event actually at Quail Hollow when it was a regular tour event, David Toms won, who was one of the straightest drivers of the ball. Rory McIlroy's won twice around here, obviously one of the premier drivers of the golf ball. JB Holmes, we know he's long, but also amazingly straight for that length. Ricky Fowler on a good day is a great driver of the golf ball. That's really what Quail Hollow not only requires, but demands.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This won't hurt him. Early part of this second nine and a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus it's yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Good tee shot, right in the fairway, and plenty long. Boy, this is a challenging second shot here to the par 4 12.
It's almost like two greens, Rich. That ridge that goes through the middle about the halfway point, 18 to 20 yards. Anything over that will kick on, and anything short of that runs back to the front. And there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this guy.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
You got away with one right there. Just missed that bunker.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand the whole way.
See if you can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level.
Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power to...
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. And he has it for birdie. Now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed a 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those 2 bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and up.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, the PGA Championship historically has given us some of the game's greatest names.
Yeah, I think the diversity of the championship now, the fact that it allows 20 club professionals to go in, the people that teach the game, and yet at the same token, it allows the best players to showcase. The Nicholases of the world, the Gary players of the world, all the guys that are in the Hall of Fame that have played this great game, that have tried to win the PGA Championship. This is an event that started in match play, and it's now fully entrenched as one of the great stroke play events in the world. Really solid stroke.
There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present third round coverage of the PGA Championship. Located in Charlotte, North Carolina, Quail Hollow was originally designed by the architect George Cobb back in 1961. And Frank, it features one of the most imposing finishing stretches on tour. They call it the Green Mile.
Yeah, 16, 17, and 18. What a great test and a wonderful way to finish this golf course. It has a nice flow to it. Anytime you're in the Carolinas, all these mature trees that really define the fairways. Everything's in front of you. Some greens with certainly a lot of pace out there. You tested every club in the bag. This is a great golf course.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
Great start.
Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3, downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one, but when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise.
Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie to open. This is a strong par 4, 452 yards, the third hole. It's a good challenge, Frank.
It is. Big sweeping dogleg left. Actually, in a straight line, it's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise, you'll be hitting in the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot under there on a green that actually has 3 different levels.
Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. You'd rather be in the rough.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And this is the third shot, about 125 yards away. He'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
His swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And he's made the green. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Now to the fourth hole here at Quail Hollow, just under 490 yards.
Yeah, they used to have the tee on the right side, which actually made that tee shot very uncomfortable. When they put the new tee box in on the left side, it's a little easier to hit that fairway because that fairway slopes from right to left.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, what are we looking at here on the second shot to the fourth?
Another green with 3 different levels. This time, though, the green runs away a lot from the right towards the left. You cannot afford to miss the green on the right. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Clean this up with a tap. He's made it. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the fifth hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away, so that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt, I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can two-putt from there is a good result.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Count it. That's a birdie. And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present final round coverage of the PGA Championship. Well, hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Novola. We are in the great state of North Carolina here at Quail Hollow. Frank, it is one of the most well-respected courses on tour.
And for good reason, Rich. Great layout. Also, we said hello to Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler. They recorded their first ever PGA Tour wins at this very golf course.
Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine.
Second shot.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
On the green in regulation. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want it, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320. Safely on deck.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget.
He got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. He's gone for a little extra.
Really powering up here. Now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now we'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Settles in over the putt. Good effort and good par putt. Now to the par 3, 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And rolls it in. Nice putt. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around 270 and kicks 30 or 40 yards, finishes up about 20 yards short of the green. I think that's the best for it. You won't be able to get at all the flags, but I think you play the hole under par for the week.
When's the right time to pull out the big driver and have a go at this green?
I don't think there is, but maybe you at home should try.
Safely aboard. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. We're now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed a 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those two bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and uphill.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot.
This is an approach shot that will really test a player. Second to the 16th.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there, just to hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. Just 2 holes remaining here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the signature par 3, 221 yards, the 17th.
And they have a multitude of tees here. One of the new back tees is actually where the old 16th green was. And if you think don't go left is the way to play, then that won't work either, because right's not that much good. This is it. Stand on the tee, and you better. This is all over it.
Dude, that... Excellent looking shot here. He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. That should be pretty good right there, on the safe side. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good-looking birdie to win the PGA Championship. In the hole, and a birdie. Just a great putt and a great win.